Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to One on One with Tricia Logan. I'm your host. Today, our show is about cancer, the silent killer as I would call it. And today I have two guests with me. On my right side here I have Michelle Gonguez, better Shelley Michelle Gonguez. And to my left I have Dr. Ellsworth Grant, who I'm pretty sure is well known in the Belizean community. But today I actually want to take a little time out to dedicate this show to Frederick Goodrich, who passed away last week. And he had colorectal cancer. And we just buried him Thursday, and my heart hurts because even though he was a 92-year-old man, this man fought for his life till the end. He did not want to die. And he has such a beautiful wife. Hi, Connie Goodrich. I love you very much. You're my little butterfly as usual. And she has a great family that treated us so well. I work with them. Joe, hi, and Larry. And also my beloved Dora, hi. The reason I wanted to dedicate this show to him is because the struggles of cancer is so devastating to me at this time. Knowing that I have several friends that's very close to me that have cancer. Another person, Leslie, and of course Michelle here with me, and her journey is amazing. Michelle is such a beautiful person inside out. And you know, the way she thinks, the way she talks about something or someone that she loves passionately, her ability makes others smile. Even when she's going through, you know, a storm or a turmoil, she still has a smile on her face. You know, all of this makes me stop complaining, in a better say, you know, about petty stuff, to see that someone that could go through this don't complain at all. Always have a smile on her face, always positive, you know. Also, as I always say, over the time, everything may fade. But Michelle, I know your beautiful soul will always live on. I'm so happy to have you here with me today. I know we met since July of last year, and ever since I felt like I've known you so long. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And it's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you.
How many children do you have?
I have 3 children. I have 2 girls and a boy, ages 30, 28, and 23.
I know you have cancer. And I remembered a conversation you and I was having one day when I asked you, how many times have you had cancer? And you mentioned to me 4 times. 4 times. And I stopped talking. I did not text you back or anything. And I have to tell you that I was so shocked to see how you carry yourself that I didn't know what else to tell you. You know, we complain about petty stuff. And look at you, all these positive things in your life. When did you first find out that you had cancer?
My first bout with cancer was at the age of 34. I had cervical cancer, and that was the most devastating time of my life because I had just had my baby, I had just had, you know, and it was just devastating.
I could imagine. When you found out you have cancer, were you in Belize or were you here in the United States?
At that time I was in Belize.
Where did you get tested? Because as far as I know, we have one cancer center in Belize by Dr. Grant, which was founded when?
2008.
2008. So where
When I went to the doctor, they sent out my tests overseas.
Oh, okay.
It came overseas.
Came back overseas. Okay, so when did you come to the United States after you found out you had cancer?
I came here in 2004, December the 17th, 2004.
2004.
Yes.
Were you cured already, or?
Yes, I was. I was.
Okay.
I had gone to Mexico and Guatemala for my treatment, because at that time they didn't have the
Facility, yeah. And then at age 47, what happened?
Mm. At age 47, I developed ovarian cancer. And this was as a result of not having a complete hysterectomy. They had left my ovaries in and it got infected. So I
It spread?
It spread and I had to have emergency surgery at that time. It was like September the 6th and I had emergency surgery. And it had adhered to my liver, my bladder, and my intestines.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
And that was in 2012.
2012. Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Okay, and so you had surgery on September 6th, you mentioned?
Yes, I did.
And the tumor was removed?
Yes.
Okay, and after that, what happened?
As a result, I ended up using an ileostomy bag. An ileostomy, I think maybe Dr. Gwen can more or less explain what it is.
I mean, an ileostomy is similar to a colostomy, but at the end of the day, you have a bag on the outside, and that's where you do your duties.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you woke up from surgery and you found that you had to use that bag. I mean, what was going through your mind at that time?
Whirlwind of thoughts. It was a whirlwind of thoughts. I kept like, okay, this is the end for me. I thought it was the end. I thought it was, everything was just like going through my mind. I cried. I cried, of course. And then, with the family that I had around me at that time, they made everything possible.
That's great. So at least you had good support, family support. And I think that's one of the big things when you're ill, right, Dr. Grant? If you have that family support, you have people by your side, it helps a lot, doesn't it?
You know, I think the biggest differences I've seen in how well people do it really than how well they are mentally. And next is the family support that they have. I wouldn't even say family, I would just say friends and family support, because it's not all the time that family is supportive.
Exactly.
So it's great. How long did you have to use that bag?
I was supposed to use that bag for 6 to 12 months. But because of certain circumstances, they had to reverse my surgery. I had to take a surgery to reverse it because my output was more than my input. So I ended up having a kidney failure, and they had to reverse it like within 3 months.
Okay. So what does she mean by there was more?
When you have an ileostomy, it's actually much higher up in your intestines, and versus a colostomy, which is lower down in the intestines, and so you need the length of your colon to absorb water, and if you don't have the time for liquids to travel, then before it gets to the end, it just comes out the bag. And if you're not taking it enough, then you suffer from bouts of dehydration, and dehydration will lead you to kidney damage.
So after you went through all that, I know you went at least 3 years cancer-free.
3 years.
So you thought you were recovered, you thought you had survived cancer, it was over. And then what happened?
In 2015, this was by chance, just by chance. I went to the clinic to sign up for, to put me on a pay scale. And I was talking to this nurse and she's like, okay, let me take down your history. And I told her my history, my mom had cancer, my whole family history. And when she saw that, she's like, okay, here, take this paper. I want you to go to this place and take a mammogram and take a pap smear and whatever. And I went there. It took me 3 tries, but I went there and I got my mammogram. And I found out that breast cancer. On the 13th of March, I found out I had breast cancer.
Wow. So, what, I mean, you had thought you'd beaten this.
I had thought with my attitude and everything I had, that was the last part, that was end. I didn't have to fight anymore. And then when that news came, on the 13th of March, I'm like, no.
Did you lose faith? Because I know this, with all what I see around your Facebook pages and all that, you're a woman of faith. What happened that day when you received that news? Did you lose faith? What was it?
I never lost faith. Never.
Although you were
I cried. I cried because I'm like, okay, I gotta go through this again. And the big word, I put the again in a capital letters because
this is your church time.
Yes, I was tired. I was so tired. But I never lost faith. Never. And my kids, they wouldn't let me lose faith. No.
You know, a lot of us would be like, okay, God, what have I done? Why me? Did you ever went through that why me, Lord?
I never went through the why me, Lord. I went through why not me. Because I've been through it before. So I knew exactly the steps that I had to take. Why not me? I'm strong enough to do it. That was my thinking at that time. I went through it before.
Okay, you see why you're here today? Why I'm telling you, I so admire how you carry yourself. I so admire your spirit and your faith, because a lot of us would have already thrown up our hands, I'm pretty sure Dr. Grant, right? And be like, you know what? Just take me. You know what I mean? And then, okay, so we went through this breast cancer in when was it, 2015? Okay, and now here comes your 50th birthday to 2016.
2016.
You had cleared up the first breast cancer, everything went
I
good.
had surgery, my lumpectomy, everything went good. And 2016, I decided to move, in 2015, I decided to move to California. And I decided that I made up my mind that, okay, I need to go see an oncologist. And I went to a hospital, got in touch with my oncologist.
If you're one of the 55 million Americans who drive,
And made an appointment. And the first thing he said was, okay, with your history, we need to take a mammogram. That was the first of May. The 3rd of May, they called me back. They're like, okay, we see something, we need you to come back in. I went back in, and they had another mammogram, an ultrasound, and the same day, they did the biopsy. This was 2 days before my 50th birthday. My 51st birthday, sorry.
What kind of genetics do you have?
It came back negative.
I guess whenever you see somebody with breast and ovarian cancer, sometimes colon cancer, you wonder about the genetic syndrome. The only thing I would say about genetic test, most of the genetic tests only test for 1 or 2 different disorders, but you generally go by family history. And if your family history, if you have breast cancer as a mother, sister, auntie, that you're suspicious, and you don't really care what the genetic test says because you have it. Or if you have ovarian cancer, colon cancer, breast cancer, those things sometimes go together.
I took the BRCA1 test, I think it was the BRCA1, and it came back negative.
What is a BRCA test?
BRCA test is a genetic test for breast cancer, and that test is linked to ovarian cancer as well. But my point about genetic testing is that your actual real family history is better than the genetic test, because the genetic test measures one thing, Whereas if you have a mother, if you have sister, if you have auntie, if all of you have breast cancer, you can't tell me you don't have something that you inherited. The only thing the BRCA meant was you didn't have that. But it doesn't mean you don't have genetically inherited risk for breast cancer or ovarian cancer.
So anybody in your family had cancer?
My mom died of cervical cancer, and they said that my dad had prostate, and I have an uncle that had colon cancer.
So it's in the family, it runs in the family.
The cervical cancer doesn't, but you could find families of cancer where you would have colon cancer, breast cancer, and these types of cancers linked together.
Yeah.
And so I say it all for members of your family. That, I don't take comfort in the BRCA1 test. As I said, it's misinterpreted a lot because people go BRCA1, I'm negative, so I don't have a genetic risk. But it doesn't really mean very much. It just means that you don't have that test positive, and so sometimes it's worthwhile to really go through a detailed family history and look at aunties, look at cousins, look at everyone to see what the risk would be.
We'll take a quick break and we will be returning in a short moment. Okay. So we still have that one more. Here we go. 4 times, Michelle.
Right music. Julie Marp on the mixing thing. Well, I don't know that shirt back again. 2015. For all the people that lost a loved one, we gotta do the song for them. Julie boy, a brown boy. This one a God. Can I so do it? Let's go. My good friend gone away, yeah. 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 I remember those days when we were young. We used to play mob around and around, but we sad to say you went away.
The tax company last year thinking we'd get a big refund.
I mean, we've got kids, daycare expenses. I mean, we should have got a lot back.
But that tax company didn't itemize our mortgage and they missed the child credit.
They messed us up.
If you're audited by the Internal Revenue Service, get smart. If you have back taxes to file, get smart. When you get your W-2 forms, like I said, get smart.
Welcome to the jungles, blood. Also known as the Jays. Home of the Dime Moves. Stone Love. We turn crabs into crab soup, blood. Don't ever get caught slipping over here.
Less than 4 hours after opening, this bank on Western Avenue closed due to robbery.
So guys, I heard that you guys are a couple bank robbers.
Do you want to die today, Jenny?
Sir.
So do exactly as I say.
Benjamin Cash, where the f is you?
Speak of the devil and he shall appear.
So what was going through your mind?
Damn, man, your sister is cute as...
What? Don't shot me, my man. Please don't shot me.
Hey, homie, you crossing the line.
Sign in blood.
Don't Black Lives Matter?
If we can't get in this mother, nobody can't get in this mother. I see you blaking and shit. Put it on. What's up? What you doing out here?
We gonna have to run up in that mother guns blazing. We gonna have to make them fear for their lives. That's the only way they're gonna let us walk up out of there with that kind of...
This is the 6th robbery of its kind in Los Angeles this month.
You gonna say yo didn't do it? You had the gun. What? dumb.
There's this bank I need to rob. And you two are gonna do it.
It's only crap.
They can't find you. Guess who the they gonna come after?
Who are you? What are you doing in my house?
Open casket.
Or a closed casket. Now make a motherfucking decision right now, or we're gonna make it for you. You heard it, folks.
We've been through it all. We'll get through this.
Guilty, y'all motherfucker, and don't drop them. So.
Welcome to the Granny Show. That's me, Granny. I try Calvin Barrow. You know, answer. I say, hello, it's me. Oh, you that big man now? You that big man now? Just last week when you made the pee-pee, I bet. You not choose that side yet? Or you that side, Musa? Make a tell on about my grandson, Johnny. Johnny only like ask me for credit. Tell him boy me not got no credit for you. And then Johnny when he want come around here, he only like thief marble. So, we got a lot of celebrities on this show. What is me again? I'll come back to that one. I'll tell all I know celebrity right now. You come on this show, you they act some kind of way. I will by your ass. I don't care what you no say, Granny, no spare no feelings. See you in the audience, you like that crazy. Are your granny still a thief and China? You know better than we. I hear this new song, I want to sing a song. You know that new song when they got out? The boy, the top boy love Coco. Yes, the boy, the top boy love Coco. Now another song. What the song they say? Coco, wait to how you need to cut it. Oh, that chicken, wait to how you need to cut it. Just wait to how you need to cut it. Just wait to how you need to cut it. Yeah, like that song there. You like that song there? Wow, Wilbert, you like that song? Wilbert and the boys. Every time I come here, they sure it smell like cow foot soup. I don't even mop up this place. But your breath stink. And watch True Religion channel. And don't you forget it, or else I will be your rat.
All evil. Tell me how much money you have and I'll tell you how much evil you've done. Tell me how much money you want and I'll tell you how much evil you gotta do.
2 people was found dead in Belize City this morning.
Welcome to the United States, gentlemen.
What a boy name?
Juice, man.
Juice.
Juice?
Kyle?
Oh my god!
There's gangs on every single block around here, starting from single digits all the way to 200.
Where you from, homie?
They banged on you.
But I jumped and I jumped the man.
Once you got one of these, you ain't gotta worry about nothing.
Youngster, him dead. You know what I'm saying? Right for their blood clot face. My enemies will say,
You can't make me guns down. Yo, guns down.
You ready to live the gangster life then, Lord?
I don't give up no more.
What have you been doing out here? How come I haven't seen you?
Trying to get rich.
Why did I even do that?
Yo, Juice, it's not bad in the mind. It's a state. And out here, the man with the most gun wins.
You cheat on me. You got somebody else.
What if I do, huh? What if I do?
Find out I kill her.
Yo, go get the boy Juice.
Yeah, don't let the blood me.
You got money, you got power.
say I'm running late.
We went to this tax company last year thinking we'd get a big refund.
I mean, we've got kids, daycare expenses. I mean, we should have got a lot back.
But that tax company didn't itemize our mortgage and they missed the child credit.
They messed us up.
If you're audited by the Internal Revenue Service, get smart. If you have back taxes to file, get smart. When you get your W-2 forms, like I said, get smart.
Welcome back. Again, as you know, we're talking here with Michelle, and we have Dr. Grant also here. If you were here in the first segment of this show, you heard this heart-wrenching journey, I have to say, or better say that Ms. Gonges has been through. You know, as I was going through your page, when, you know, just strolling through, you know how we do on Facebook, and I'm going to quote you some of your words that you actually have out there encouraging people. You think about others before you even think about yourself. But before I go there, there was one more story you had to tell us. Your fourth cancer diagnosis.
My fourth cancer diagnosis was breast again. And that was like, what, 2 days before my 51st birthday. And that was in May. I had mastectomy of the left breast in August, and I started chemo on October the 12th, and I've been through my first set, and I'm going through another set with the Herceptin.
You're currently going through that right now.
Right now.
Wow. I mean, I'm tired, and it's not even me. You know what I mean, Dr. Brown? I mean, it's really heart-wrenching. I don't know how you can do it. So I'm quoting you when I hear you say, when you can tell a story and it doesn't make you cry, you know you have healed. What does that mean to you? What does those words mean to you?
To me, it means that I have a great and awesome God. I go through this, and I am forever praising God, forever praising God. He has brought me through the other three, and I have no doubt that He'll bring me through this one. So I could talk about it, help others to heal.
That's right. And then you also have another saying where you said, if you never thank God after every smile, then you have no right to blame Him for every tear.
After every smile, I make sure I thank God. Because it could have been worse. It could have been worse. I could have not been here. So I thank God, even though it hurts. Sometimes I'm in pain. I get up and I'm in pain. But I thank God. I thank Him for each smile.
And then now you're going through all this, and then you would always look at God and say, Father, please bless my friends. I love them very much. You're not even thinking about you. You're thinking about others. How could you do that? Wouldn't you have a little sense of like, say, what about me? You know?
Because if God bless my friends and make them strong, they are my support. They are my support. So I pray for my friends then. And in other words, they support me in what I'm doing.
And one of those good friends, Desiree Bakario, thank you very much. I know you've been there a lot for Michelle. So I just wanted to say personally, thank you. I'm pretty sure Michelle say it to you all the time. Also, if nothing else, one day you can look at someone in their eyes and say, but I lived through it and it made me who I am. Who is Michelle? Who is Michelle today?
Michelle is who you see. I am the same way today. I am the same person tomorrow. It doesn't matter what I'm going through. If you come to me, you're my friend. I will treat you as my friend now and forever. If I don't see you 10 years from now, you are still my friend. And that's the way I look at friendship. That's the way I look. That's my thing. I don't judge nobody, and I don't ask nobody to judge me. That is not my duty.
Well, there's one more thing that you also mentioned, or you have, where you say, good days gives you happiness. Bad days give you an experience. The worst days give you a lesson, and all are God's blessing.
Amen.
I don't know. I also believe in God, of course. I believe in God and stuff. But after I've heard your story, I don't know if I could still be this strong where I could say all these things. And then now you already said, I am ready for a new chapter in your life.
So
You are ready?
I am so ready for a new chapter. I don't really care what it brings. I'm just ready for a positive chapter in my life.
Wow. Well, Michelle, what would you like to say to our audience there? What advice would you like to give them based on what you have been through?
To all my female friends out there, get checked. Do your mammogram. I know most of you are my age, so go get checked. Do your mammogram. Be diligent. Self-exam. I did my self-exam every month on the 5th of every month. Find a day that you can remember, because the 5th is my birth date. So I use the 5th of every month. Be diligent.
Good advice. And I want to take this moment and give you a little gift that I brought for you. I mean, this is something, it's a small token for what you have been through. This is from the bottom of my heart to you. I'm so proud of you. You're welcome. You're welcome, honey. You are so strong, and we're proud of you, and you could be a good example for other women out there. So I give you this from the bottom of my heart.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and we even have all this sad thing going on, but guess what? In there we also find a little humor. And Dr. Grant had one today. And what was the medication you said we were going to bring back from Belize?
She's from Dangriga and lives back in Gomagorogo. So everybody knows Gomagorogo water make you strong.
Very good.
So you are back home. If you could send some Gomagorogo water for me.
There you go. Make sure you send enough. Because 4 times, I can't deal with that. Anyway, now we're going to turn to Dr. Grant. Obviously, he's a well-known doctor in our Belizean community. Dr. Grant is from Dangriga as well. And he is the founder of the Cancer Center in Belize, Dangriga, since 2008. So it's the only cancer center in Belize, and if it's not because of him, man, a lot of people today would have not had a chance in life. Dr. Grant volunteers his time. I mean, he's a busy man. He's also the founder and president out here at the UCLA for Women.
I used to do the Elizabeth Center for Cancer Detection.
There you go. he is so well involved. He's also well involved in the community, Belizean community out here in Los Angeles. And I think we just heard that you were hooking up with USC?
UCLA.
UCLA, wow. So to be able to help us back home in Belize, we need it. We need every support. And Dr. Grant, I mean, I did a little study of cancer, and I cannot tell you the enormous type of cancer there is out there. How do you do it?
You know, your brain is like a hard drive. It holds some things, and then some things it doesn't hold. So if I forget somebody's name once or twice, I remember the cancer.
Well,
some chemotherapy or something. So it's just the way the hard drive is wired.
Right. So when you came to the United States, when did you migrate to the United States?
In 1978.
1978. And then you went to, I think, this cancer center in San Diego?
I went to undergraduate at UC Irvine. And from Irvine, I went to medical school at UC San Diego.
Wow.
And from San Diego, I did residency over at Cedars-Sinai Medical Center.
Which is well known out here in California.
From there, I went to City of Hope to do cancer training, as well as split the time at USC.
Wow. And give us an explanation. What is cancer? Because a lot of people hear cancer, but a lot of people, it doesn't really register. What is cancer?
I mean, you know, Mother Nature is a well-oiled machine, and that well-oiled machine has order. And cells grow in order, they live in order, they die in order. And sometimes you have some cells in your body, and a cancer can come from any part of your body. So when you say, how do I remember it? You could develop cancer in the eye, in the skin, in the lung, the liver. You pick the body part can have cancer. But if it's almost like if you had an army of people marching in order, in stride, and one of those soldiers decide to go rogue and marches out of formation and just does whatever the heck they want, and then the other guys follow them. And every new recruit that comes by, they're just not following the order. They're just doing their own thing. And they don't listen to any commanders. They don't follow any.
Like some of us humans.
Exactly. Anybody's advice. But also, as they're walking, doing their own thing, because they look like everybody else.
Nobody's paying attention.
Yeah, no, they just get a free pass, and that's how the cancers evade the body's immune system, because they look like you. They have the same. If the immune system asks for ID, they look like everything else, and so they could just easily just keep on moving, keep on growing.
Wow, that's a good way to explain it, a way that we can really understand. Because how many types of cancer basically is there, like, for men? Because all you hear about is prostate.
I think it's, you know, as I said earlier, when you think about a cancer, you just think about the body part. And the major cancers are still lung cancer. You could have a cancer, we call them head and neck cancer, whether it's in the throat, in your voice box. And those are more classically associated with people who smoke a lot and drink a lot. You could have in women breast cancer. You could have cancer in any piece of your bowel, in your stomach. In prostate cancer, there are cancers of the lymph glands. Those glands, when you get a cold, you have them all over, and you could get cancers in those.
Men can get breast cancer too, right?
Yes, rare, but it is possible. And over time, I've seen a few men with breast cancers back home. We tend to see as the two top cancers in women, breast and cervical cancer, and unlike here, those cancers are generally diagnosed in a later stage. And so the early stage cancers are not as common back home as they are here, where people tend to get screening a little bit earlier.
Okay. They call it the deadly killer. Why do they call cancer the deadly killer? There's no signs or no symptoms that comes along with that before you could say, oh, maybe I need to go check because I have some type of symptoms or sometimes.
One of the perfections of the human body is it has just so much reserve. And so you don't, until something begins running out of function, you don't really know that anything is wrong. And you know, if let's take you know, breast cancer and doing self-examination, it's really hard to find cells that are just starting to turn into cancer. You need to wait until something grows big enough
to be
to
able
actually
to
feel.
and
if you're more endowed, there's more in there for things to hide. If you're looking at the lungs, we have a lot of lung. And so if you just have something that's an inch, what's an inch in,
I know. Yeah.
you know, in yards? And in the stomach area, similarly, you have a lot of room for things to grow before you really feel anything. And so unless something really presses on a nerve to cause you pain, you don't really know anything is wrong. Most people begin noticing something wrong because of A, pain, B, they just begin losing weight, and initially they think it's fantastic, and then they go,
not that kind of way, yeah.
You know, losing the appetite, and things of that sort. Or people with colon cancers, they begin passing blood, or they get anemic, but there are many different signs, but none of the things really you detect very early at times. Sometimes it's just sheer luck that you get something detected.
Wow.
Very
Why
early.
is cancer so painful, especially at the end? A lot of people would say, you know, it's painful. They died because in a lot of pain because they had cancer. Why is it painful at the end?
You know, location is everything. As in real estate, same thing with the human body. It all depends on the where.
Oh, okay.
And if you have things that are pressing on nerve, it doesn't really matter what nerve.
No, okay.
That saying about people working your final nerve. Just
that's
like
it.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna take another short break, and we'll be right back and finishing up some questions with Dr. Grant.
Money is the root of all evil. Tell me how much money you have and I'll tell you how much evil you've done. Tell me how much money you want and I'll tell you how much evil you gotta do.
2 people was found dead in Belize City this morning.
Welcome to the United States, gentlemen.
What a boy name?
Juice, man.
Juice.
Juice?
Kyle?
Oh my God!
There's gangs on every single block around here, starting from single digits all the way to 200s.
Where you from, homie?
They banged on you.
But I jumped and jumped the man.
Once you got one of these, you ain't gotta worry about nothing.
Youngster, him dead. You know what I'm saying? Right for their blood clot face. My enemies in the city.
You can't make guns down. Yo, guns down.
You ready to live the gangster life then?
I don't give a no more.
What have you been doing out here? How come I haven't seen you?
Trying to get rich.
Why did I even do that?
Yo, Juice. It's not bad in the mind. It's a state. And out here, the man with the most gun win.
You the cheat on me. You got somebody else.
What if I do, huh? What if I do?
Find out and I kill him.
Yo, get the boy Juice.
Don't have blood.
You got money, you got power. It's the American way.
Please don't run away.
Welcome to the Granny Show. That's me, Granny. I try calling Barrow. You know, answer. I say, hello, it's me. Oh, you that big man now? You that big man now? Just last week when you made the pee-pee, I bet. You not choose a side yet? Or you that side, Musa? Make a tell on about my grandson, Johnny. Johnny on the light ask me for credit. Tell him me not got no credit here. And then Junior one he want come around here on the light thief model. So we got a lot of celebrities on this show. What is me again? I'll come back to that one. I'll tell all I know celebrity right now. You come on this show, yeah, they act some kind of way. I will by your ass. I don't care what you no say, Granny, no spare no feelings. See you in the audience, you like that crazy. Are your granny still a thief and China? You know better than we. I hear this new song, I want to sing a song. You know that new song when they got out? the boy the top boy love cocoa. Yes, the boy the top boy love cocoa. Another song. What the song they say? Cocoa, wait to how you need to cut it. You got a chicken with to how you need to cut it. They got just wait to how you need to cut it. This way to how you need to cut it. Yeah, like that song there. You like that song there? Wow, Wilbert, you like that song? Wilbert and the boys. Every time I come here, they sure it smell like cow foot soup. I don't even mop up this place. By your breath stink. And watch True Religion channel. And don't you forget it. Or else I will be your rap.
Welcome back with One on One by yours truly, Tricia Logan. We're here discussing the silent killer, cancer. Whenever you're ready to give us a call, if you have any questions for Dr. Grant or do you have a comment, please give us a call. The lines are on now. Dr. Grant, I needed to ask you a question. You know, a lot of women out there don't maybe not know what a mammogram is or a biopsy. How would you explain that and the difference between each one?
You know, actually, I'm probably the wrong person to answer that question when we have somebody here who has unfortunately had the displeasure of having mammograms.
Displeasure, yes. So you want to explain that, Michelle, how you...
Explain the real technical piece and tell them not to be afraid of that piece. She might not want to say it, but it's like getting the waffle iron
and pressing down on your breast. But it really does not hurt. It's just uncomfortable, but it does not hurt. It's just uncomfortable, and it squeezes it, and it takes a picture and shows on the computer, and they read it.
And biopsy?
My biopsy is a can't remember the words.
Stereotactics.
Stereotactics, yes. And that they put you on a table. You're lying face down on the table. There's a hole in the table. I'm explaining everything, and the affected breast is pushed through the hole. And underneath the table, there's a machine with the needle and stuff. And they lidocaine the area, and they inject and pull out the specimen to be tested.
Okay.
You won't get anything better
than that. This is personally experienced, so it's facts, not fiction. Also, Dr. Grant, it's considered that after 5 years, if you go cancer-free, is it true or not? This is a true statement, true or false statement, basically. It's heard that after 5 years, if you don't see cancer, you consider cancer-free. Is that a true statement?
No, it's not a true statement. Okay. If you think of a cancer when it spreads as a seed, as a little tomato seed, and over time, if you water that tomato seed, it can grow up into a plant. If I sent you outside to look for I throw out a handful of tomato seeds and say, Trish, go find the tomato seeds. If you came back empty-handed, I wouldn't be surprised. If we had a lot of rain, after 2 weeks, they sprout, you would come back with everything. When you get an x-ray and the x-ray says it's negative, the x-ray doesn't find seeds. The x-ray find plants. And so one of the things we do a bad job of as cancer doctors, we can't really tell you whether you have seeds or not because we don't have that technology. You need time to pass by. And typically the reason 5 years is given, it takes a seed to grow up into something you can see about 18 months. And if you go 18 months in 5 years, you've given it 3 lifetimes. And so if nothing grows, then you're taking the negative assumption that nothing grew, so there's no seed. But that does not mean that seed can't grow later on.
So that's a tricky question, basically.
But your odds are much better if nothing grew within 5 years. but it does not mean there's zero chance after that.
I guess I better ask you because you're going through it right now. The chemotherapy. Can you explain
What you want?
going
the
through
procedure,
chemo?
the
Yes.
what?
How does it make you feel after you have chemo?
On the day that I have the actual infusion, it's not really bad. I might get nauseous and dizzy, but like days after that, it gets like I'm really tired. I can't walk for far. I can walk far. Headaches, diarrhea, vomiting. It's
That's
just the different side
terrible,
effects,
but
just the
yeah.
different side effects, And but there's ways to cope with each one of those side effects too. So
Usually it's the individual. Usually,
exactly.
It like I said, your situation. Every situation is unique. Am I right, doctor? Every cancer, even if you have breast cancer, someone else may have breast cancer, but it may not be the same the same type of symptoms. Okay.
But I would say one thing about chemo. When people say chemo, it's used as one word, but there are hundreds of chemotherapy drugs, and the side effects you get from any medicine depends on two things: how much you get and what you got. And there's some drugs you can give without finding any side effects other than the possibility you get an allergic reaction, much like the Herceptin we take. And then there are other drugs that tend to make people universally sick. But whenever you hear anybody say chemo, and I would say this to the audience, don't let anybody just tell you they had chemo and they felt XYZ, because unless they tell you what medicine they had, what stage of cancer they had, or what they took it for, they're talking garbage to you. And so people will always come and tell me, I knew somebody who had chemo that. I stopped them. I go, I don't know what they had. I don't know what they had it for. I don't know what dose they had. So you essentially told me nothing.
Oh, okay.
I had the Taxol.
Yeah,
Taxol and the Herceptin. Yep.
Yeah, Taxol will generally give you numbness.
Yeah. And what you call it in your legs?
Neuropathy.
Neuropathy.
They have stage 1, 2, 3, and they always call it the final stage 4. Is it actually a true statement to say when you reach stage 4, that's it? Your life is basically you have 3 months to live or whatever X months to live. Is that true?
Not necessarily.
There's no comeback from that, or there is?
It depends on the type of cancer. There's some cancers where stage 4 cancers are still considered curable.
Oh, that's good to know.
Like testicular cancers, some of the lymphomas are still considered curable. And then there are some cancers where you're on life extension. But people with who have stage 4 cancers can go on living for years and years and years. And then there's some people who just crash and burn. But I always tell everybody, whenever I see somebody, I'm just seeing one person. I don't see a statistic.
Correct.
And I think that's sometimes where people get this misconception. As an individual, you contribute to the number that you get a statistic that comes back to you. But when it's actually you, there are only two things that happen. The answer is either 0 or it's 100%. But there's no number in the middle.
Okay.
And so everybody is different. I don't think you can universally lump everybody in the group.
I want to change this conversation a little bit. We actually worked, and I want to say this because the Consul General, Mr. Roland York, is someone that is so passionate about this cancer situation. He's always pushing a workshop, always trying to get the word out, and I admire him for that. And he had this person by the name of Miss Jennifer Metz, who is also certified. She has a Master of Public Health. She works for, the Every Woman Counts Center. And they have a program that they have started for women or anybody, whether you're legally here or illegally here. And mostly for women at this time, she said, they haven't really went into for the men. Anyway, she has a program where if you don't have any money, if you think because you're illegally here you can't go get tested, this program is for you. You can go get tested for free, no money, no questions asked, and if by any reason you are tested positive, they will treat you for free. All you have to have is an address, address here in the United States, where they can maybe send you a mail, send you something for you to be able to go to your appointments, so forth. She said some of her information here is like breast cancer screening eligibility for people that are 40, or women that are 40 years old or older, or symptomatic women under 40 with low income, have no insurance or limited insurance, and have a California address. That's simple, and there's no fee. Again, it's free. If they also have testing for cervical cancer, that's if you're 21 years or older, low income again, no insurance or limited insurance, and the only requirement is that you have an address in California. Okay. There's a number that you also can call, which is a 1-800 number, 511-2300. Again, that's 1-800-511-2300. You could call them and they will give you the nearest clinic in your area. They will not ask you too many questions, just, again, an address. You don't have to have an income. You do not have to be here legally. I need you women out there to please get tested. As you can see, my friend here, she's a survivor. I have several friends. Leslie, hi Leslie. She's one of my friends also that is going through this problem right now. I mean, when she calls me sometimes, she says, Tricia, I don't know how to continue. I'm weak. You know, I'm like, and I tell her, you have all right to feel the way you do. Okay, so please get tested, women, please. Also the men out there, right, Dr. Grant?
Oh,
what would you say to them?
Oh, absolutely. I think men don't like to go to doctors, and for prostate cancer, there's sometimes a rectal exam involved, and so men tend to run far, far away.
But how important is it?
Oh, very, especially in men who are of African descent. The cancers tend to come earlier, and they tend to be more aggressive when they come. But I think overall, it's just a matter of being aware of your body in general. To make a point about the Every Woman Counts. I've treated people on this program. It's called the BCCTP program, Breast Cancer Cervical Cancer Treatment Program, and it works as you said, that once somebody's diagnosed, they can then move on to BCCTP. But I think one of the more important things to comment on, and probably again, since you've done it, Michelle, you would be in a better position. There are a lot of alternative facts about treating cancers, and and I think it's important to get it out to people that it is worthwhile to go through treatment. And sometimes people hang on to, I will do my herbs, and when you say stage 4 and then a point of no return, that's what the alternative facts got them.
I'm pretty sure a lot of us have someone that's close to us, related to us, a good friend that has been through cancer.
And so I would say, don't fear the process. Don't listen to people who are ill-informed or uninformed, because they will lead you down a path that will get you snuffed out. And we don't have in the medical profession. I guarantee you, I'm not in any conspiracy with anybody. I don't have time for conspiracy.
Because that's what they're saying, that the doctors are in conspiracy, with the pharmacy. That's why they're going to do the chemotherapy thing. But then the chemotherapy really works. I mean, at least for me,
yeah,
it works. But other people might try other kind of, alternative medicine.
That's why I say worth it, especially for women, cervical cancer, get the pap smear. And don't be afraid of it. I say it to women here in the US, to women back home, it's available. Early detection is the key. If you have your young daughters, young sons, get them vaccinated. We shouldn't be seeing cervical cancer. Get vaccinated. And for breast cancer, get the mammograms. Men, go get your PSA test for prostate cancer. Go and go see the doctor. Go get your colonoscopy at age 50, not just for men, but for all of us. But there are many different ways to get screening, and from a lifestyle perspective, everything in this life is moderation. Whether it's food, whether it's alcohol, you shouldn't be smoking anyway. And cigarettes or marijuana.
We will take a short break and we'll be right back. Good?
Welcome to the jungles, blood. Also known as the Jays. Home of the Dime Modes. Stone Love. We turn crabs into crab soup, blood. Don't ever get caught slipping over here.
Less than 4 hours after opening, this bank on Western Avenue closed due to robbery.
So guys, I heard that you guys are a couple bank robbers.
Do you want to die today, Jenny?
Sir.
So do exactly as I say.
Benjamin Cash, where the f is you?
Speak of the devil and he shall appear.
So what was going through your mind?
Damn, man, your sister is cute as
What? Don't shot me, my man. Please don't shot me.
Hey, homie, you crossing the line.
Signing blood.
Don't Black Lives Matter?
If we can't get in this mother, nobody can get in this mother.
I see you blagging and shit. Put it on. What's up? What you doing out here?
We gonna have to run up in that mother, guns blazing. We gonna have to make it fair for their lives. That's the only way they're gonna let us walk up out of there with that kind of
Sixth robbery of its kind in Los Angeles this month.
You gonna say your didn't do it? You had the gun. What? You dumb mother.
There's this bank I need to rob. And you two are gonna do it.
It's on the track.
They can't find you. Guess who the they gonna come after?
Who are you? What are you doing in my house?
Open casket.
We're a closed casket. Now make a motherfucking decision right now, or we're gonna make it for you. You have it, bro.
We've been through it all. We'll get through this.
Guilty.
Welcome back again. Again, Dr. Grant had just given us in details what cancer is all about, what we need to do. Dr. Grant, can you please give us a little information as where I know you do. You have your clinic out here in California. Can you please give them your information or how to contact you, if anything?
Sure. I'm in private practice here in LA, and I work. My office is close to Good Samaritan Hospital. You could reach me at 213-481-3948. Once again, 213-481-3948 is the office.
And what is the address of the clinic?
It's at 1245 Wilshire Boulevard. Suite 801 here in Los Angeles.
Okay. Again, also please, I want you to think about your children. You want to live to see them get married, grow up, have kids. Think about them if you don't want to think about yourself, to go get tested. I mean, a lot of us think, oh, it won't happen to me. Believe me, that's the last thing you want to say. Michelle is a great example of that. Leslie as well. I hope you don't kill me, Leslie, for putting your name out there. I'm so sorry, but I love you, my darling. And please, no excuses. You don't have money, it's fine. You don't have insurance, it's fine. You're illegally in the US, it's fine. Just contact Every Woman Counts at 800-511-2300. Again, that's 1-800-511-2300. Just contact them in your area. All your requirement is have an address. Just have an address. So there's no excuse to not get tested. If you love yourself, I suggest you go get tested. You have anything else you would like to tell our audience before we close?
I think you covered it all about getting tested. That's my thing, to go get tested.
And Dr. Grant?
You know, I would echo that in that you can't find it if you don't go get it looked for.
That's right.
And too many times people come in way too late, and it's not that the medical profession, they then failed you. It's just that you have your limits.
That's
and
right.
you want to catch things when they're very small. Very small equals very curable, and very large generally means you're in for a battle.
Okay. So until next Saturday, please join me. If you have questions, please don't be scared to call. The phone is here. Give us a call. We haven't received any call yet. But anyway, hopefully by next week, we hear from you. If you have any questions, inbox me. I can always get in touch with Dr. Grant if we have any questions. And who knows, later on, hopefully you can join us again, Dr. Grant, on the show.
Sure.
Thanks. And Michelle, thank you so much for joining us. Dr. Grant,
Thank
again,
you for having me.
thank you. We'll see you until next Saturday. Bye.
Bye-bye.